For this Mompreneur on Fire Summit episode interview, I have a lovely lady. I was really nervous reaching out to her because she is a really big leader. And I'm very, very honored that she said yes to the interview. She is from Colorado in the United States. She is a single mom raising her two children from 10 and 12 and half years old. And one of her favorite books is Think and Grow Rich. I love that book too. I had a lady the other day and she said, every time when I'm down, I read one page in that book so that it can help me. And her favorite word that describes her best is resilient. So with no further ado, I introduce Michelle Barnes. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you
Hi.
so much for having me, Monique. I'm
I,
excited to be here.
I'm so blessed that you are, because I was really looking forward to talking to you, because you have such a big team, you have such a lot of knowledge, and I really respect your way of working, and so I'm really excited to talk to you today. So Michelle, can you tell us a little bit about you for those people that don't know you? I think many do, but please tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Monique, first of all, I just want to thank you for having me. And don't ever be intimidated or afraid to talk to me because I'm just like you. We are all just doing the best we can. And, I always tell people the only difference between you and me is time. Um,
Hmm.
I've spent the last 25 years, day in, day out, doing this business, and I definitely can say I've mastered the mundane,
Hmm.
um, which is why I think I've seen the success that I've seen is
Hmm.
that I was always willing to do those little things on a daily basis that like Jim Rohn says, easy to do, easy not to do.
Yes.
And that goes back 25 years, so
Hmm.
kind of Cliff Notes version. I growing up thought that the key to success was to go to school, get good grades, go to college, that was the key to success. Get out, get a good job, start at the bottom, work your way to the top.
Hmm.
And I bought it, man. I bought it hook, line, and sinker. My mom was a single mom. Well, my grandma was a single mom with 6 kids, sole provider. My mom was a single mom with 4 kids, sole provider. I'm a single mom with 2 kids, sole provider. We're trying to break that evil
Wow.
chain. Hopefully hopefully that stops here.
Hmm.
But you know, um, I was the first person in my family to go to college, and I went to the University of Colorado in Boulder, and then I went on to law school and spent about $80,000 on 4 years of my undergrad, and 1 year of law school was $30,000. So
Hmm.
to find out that that isn't what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Uh, in between my first year and second year of law school, I was miserable, and
Yeah.
I was interning with a couple of attorneys, and they were the most miserable people I've ever met in my life.
Hmm.
And they were working 80 plus hours a week, which I'm definitely a workaholic. I love what I do, but I wanted it to be on my terms. And
Hmm.
what I noticed is that these attorneys, they were making great money, but they had no life.
Hmm.
They never saw their wives, they never saw their kids. I was the only female in the office at the time,
Yes.
and I've known since birth that I wanted to be a mom. And so I just kept wondering, like, how the heck am I going to be super successful as an attorney, as a partner in a firm, which would be my ultimate goal, and
Hmm.
be a good mom and be the kind of mom I want to be too.
Yes.
And so it was a big, it was a really big, like, internal struggle.
Hmm.
And I just realized after my first year of law school, it was almost like that internal GPS system was like flashing big red lights, like you are absolutely going the wrong way.
Yes.
And but I was like, crap, I just spent 30 grand on a year of law school. I'm $80,000 in debt. I had a sociology degree, so I was like, what the heck am I going to do with that? I knew I didn't
Hmm.
want to be a social worker necessarily. And so I was waiting tables. I was
Okay.
waiting tables and bartending because I could make more money doing that than I could with my degree. And that was when I found network marketing.
So did network marketing found you, or did you find network marketing?
Well, it kind of found me.
Yeah.
Talking about everything happens for a reason.
Hmm.
I was literally just, praying for an answer. Like, there's got to be something out there that Like, I just wanted to love what I did for a living. I wanted to love my career. I wanted to
Mhm.
make good money. I wanted to help a lot of people along the way. And I didn't really know what that looked like. And
Mhm.
so I actually answered an ad in the paper. I was
Mhm.
looking for a job in between my first year and second year of law school.
Mhm.
And I just, we used to have newspapers back then. So I opened up the newspaper and I saw an ad that said sports minded and it said 3 to 6 thousand a month. And I was like, well, shoot, I play
Okay. Yeah.
sports. I have a mind qualified. And I was like 3 to 6 thousand a month. I'm like, shoot, if I could just make 3,000 a month. I was
Mhm.
23 at the time. And I was like, if I could just make 3,000 a month, like that was like gazillionaire status to me at the time.
Yes.
And so I answered that ad and I went in for what I thought was a job interview, and it was
Mhm.
an opportunity meeting. I almost turned around and walked out, if you can believe that, because I was pissed. I was skeptical.
Mhm.
I was like, oh my gosh, it's another one of these deals. I've seen these things before, and I almost turned around and walked out. And luckily, the guy that I was meeting with, we had talked for probably 45 minutes on the phone. He built so much rapport.
Mhm.
I felt like we had like this great connection already and friendship. And he was just like, look, how do you know it's not for you?
Mhm.
And one of the things that he said was really like, kind of like, okay, well, maybe you're right. I mean, he was just like, look, every single thing that you said you're looking for in
Mhm.
life, this business has to offer, but you'll never know if you walk out that door. And he was like, if it's for you, great. If not, great. Just give me 45 minutes, watch the presentation. If it's not for you, great. We part as friends.
Mhm.
I said, okay, fair enough. And here I am 25 years later.
That was very clever what he did.
Yes, yes.
That was very
Well, that's crazy, Monique, is I still to this day teach my team
Mhm.
to use that exact phrase. And I probably say that no less than 5 or 10 times a day.
Mhm.
I just say, look, if it's for you, great. If not, great. Hey, check out these products. If it's for you,
Mhm.
great. If not, great. Check out this opportunity. Like if it's for you, great. If not, great.
Mhm.
And if it's not, no biggie, right?
No
Because
biggie.
what it
Yeah.
does, it takes down that barrier because
Yeah.
our goal is just to get people to take a look at what we got.
Yeah. 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 It takes down a lot of pressure also.
Yes.
But it must have been a very scary time for you because and not knowing what the future is going to bring to you, not sure that law school is something for you, if you have to continue having those debts. How did you cope with that, if I may ask?
I mean, my mom is amazing. And, even though she was a young single mom, she definitely like taught me that like everything happens for a reason and a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And, what's meant to be will be, and to make the best of every situation, no matter what.
Yeah.
And so for me, I was just, I'm a very intuitive person. So I knew that I was on the wrong track.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I also knew that at that point I'm definitely like a recovering people pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
And I still fall into that every once
Mm-hmm.
in a while. But I think I was doing that more to make everyone else proud of me.
Mm-hmm.
I was going down that law school route because I thought that that would make people proud of me and
Mm-hmm.
that would make me quote unquote successful.
Okay.
And so, honestly, I was just like, I can't do it. Like my whole soul, it was just like, ugh.
Yeah.
And, it's like, I went to a seminar. Actually, it was a kind of this big, huge, free kind of get motivated seminar
Mm-hmm.
between my first year and second year of law school. And that was the first time I was introduced to Tony Robbins.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember him saying, for things to change, you've got to change. And for you to change, your thoughts have to change.
Yes.
And I thought, you know what? Like, no one is going to live my life but me. And I need to make some changes, and I
Mm-hmm.
need to like figure out, and I didn't really know what that looked like. And of course, I didn't ever in my life think it was going to be network marketing,
Uh-huh.
but thank God it is.
It's an amazing profession. Huh?
Yeah.
It's the best. So 25 years back, it was belly to belly. There was no internet. Oh, there was internet, but there was no social media like
There
today.
was no internet even back then.
Not even, no, not even internet. That's true. So how did you work your business, and how do you? How did you get those $500 on a consistent basis, and how did it go in the beginning? How did you start? Did you have immediate success, or was it a little bit of a struggle in the beginning? How did that go at
Like I'm pretty scrappy. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm pretty
Okay.
scrappy and I'm pretty relentless.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I decide to do something, when I decide I want something, like, I'm pretty scrappy about figuring it out. So, I sucked at the beginning. But my goal was, and that's why when you asked me to do this interview,
Mm-hmm.
I was so excited because my goal wasn't to make millions and millions of dollars. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My goal was to make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
When people say, why did you start? That is why I started.
Mm-hmm.
Was to make an extra 500 to $1,000 a month so that I could start chiseling away at this $80,000 mound of debt that I had created.
Mm-hmm.
And, I thought, man, if I could just start throwing $1,000 a month at this, $80,000 in debt, like, and, you know, awesome. Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And an extra $500 a month, that's an extra $6,000 a year.
Yes. Yeah.
You're not going to walk into a job and be like, hey, I need a $6,000 raise this year.
No.
Or an extra $1,000 a month. That's an extra $12,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why I started. And what happened was I ended up going to a 3-day seminar. And that 3-day training was my first weekend in the business. And as soon as I saw those trainers up on stage speaking,
Mm-hmm.
that is when I knew why I was there.
Okay.
I knew that I was put on this planet to do what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that was to inspire people to create better lives.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is where I just was like, okay, this is it. Like, and I fell in love with helping people's health. I fell in love with helping people's financial situation. And I knew if I could do it, anyone could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd never even had a real job at the time besides like waiting tables and bartending.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that I had 3 things going for me, Monique. And I tell people all the time, if you have these 3 things going for you, you can be successful in this business. I had a desire for a better life,
Mm-hmm.
like a burning desire. That's the first chapter in Think and Grow Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta have a burning desire for something more, something different.
Mm-hmm.
I was sick and tired of being broke. I was sick and tired of money always being an issue. My whole life, money was always an issue.
Yeah.
So I had a burning desire for a better life. I was super coachable. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2,
Mm-hmm.
I was super coachable. When my mentors, I just looked at what the people were doing that were making 6 and 7 figures. And I was like, I'm just going to do what they do.
Yes.
Like, why would I listen to the broke people? I don't want their results. I want these people's results.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what I did. I was very coachable. If they said go left, I went left. If they said go right, I went right. And then I was willing to work.
Yeah.
I think so many people think that this is going to build itself, or they think, oh, if I'm going to sign up today and become a millionaire tomorrow, that's stupid.
Yes.
Like if you find one of those guys, call me.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And
Like,
can
I
you
have-
handle the $1 million? That is also a challenge.
I haven't found one of those.
No.
Okay. So I was willing to work, and we had offices back then. So I was the first one in the office. I was the last one to leave. I had a mentor that said, if you book 10 people a day to come in and see an opportunity meeting, like actually book them to come in and see an hour-long opportunity meeting.
Mm-hmm.
If you book 10 a day, you'll make 10 grand a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, that's something I have control over.
Yes.
Like I can control the numbers.
Yes.
So I started booking 10 people a day, and I didn't let myself go to bed until I booked 10 people a day.
Okay.
Well, that was way freaking harder than what we do today. Like
Yes.
even with our ATM system that we created,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, add tag message, add them to a group, tag them on a freaking video, put them in a 3-way chat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, that's way easier than smiling and dialing and calling and getting 10 people to say, yes, I'll come in for an hour-long presentation into an office.
Yes.
But I was willing to do it. And that, just the numbers, Jim Rohn says, make up in numbers what you lack in skill.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I had to do in the beginning. Because when, I tell people, embrace the suck. I think people are so worried about sucking, and they're so
Mhm.
worried about not being good at it, or what are people going to think about me? And what if I say something wrong? Who gives a crap?
Yes.
No one cares. No one's going to remember 2 weeks from now anyway.
Yeah.
And I would say if it's not going to matter 5 years from now, stop worrying about it you know and so I really focused on the numbers, and it turned into 102,000 my first year in the business.
So,
Even though my goal was just to make 500 to $1,000 a month,
yes.
I was doing the things. Ralph Waldo Emerson says, do the thing and you shall have the power.
Yes.
So I was doing the thing, and it turned into 102,000 my first year, turned into my first million before the age of 30. But
So
that didn't happen by accident.
no, no, you worked for it.
Yes,
Yeah, and not just a little bit,
a lot of it.
and on a consistent basis, daily basis, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is something I think a lot of people forget. They run for 10 days or for a month or even for 90 days, and then they think, okay, I can sit back and relax. And that really is not what is going to happen, because you have to work on it on a consistent basis. The system from then and now is totally different.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the system that you have today? Maybe that can help starting and struggling moms to figure it a little bit out, what they could do now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like, I honestly feel like the fact that with everything that happened with COVID,
Hmm.
when everyone was kind of scrambling to try to figure out how to build 100% online,
Hmm.
we had already been doing it for 4 years very
Yes.
successfully. We created a system called ATM, Ad Tag Message,
Hmm.
which I don't think there's a better system on the entire face of the planet for
Hmm.
moms.
Hmm.
Okay, specifically for moms, me being one and
Yeah.
being a single mom and the sole provider of my kids. I've done this for 25 years,
Hmm.
and it's never been more simple than it is today. Do
Hmm.
you still have to work? Yes. Do you
Yes.
still have to open your mouth? Yes. Do you
Hmm.
still have to invite people to look at what you got? Yes.
Hmm.
But it's just so much easier than it was 25 years ago.
Hmm.
No more parties and meetings and home events and hotel events. I mean, I've done it all. Like, in 20
Hmm.
years, every single way that you could ever build a network marketing business, I've done it.
Hmm.
So for me, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that what we have with this ATM system, being able to build 100% online from your phone. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And to be able to build in multiple countries,
Hmm.
from the palm of your hand. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that. So if someone
Hmm.
can't make it here, like, they're probably not going to make it,
Hmm. Yeah.
and I've never been able to really have that passion or that feeling where I can sit across the table from anyone, no matter how old, no matter how young, no matter whether they have a following or they don't have a following, whether they're shy, whether they're outgoing, whether they have 10 kids or one kid. I can show somebody how to add people to a community, tag them on a video, and put them in a three-way chat with me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. So my three questions are more than answered, and I'm so very uh, thankful that you're so generous with everything and explaining. If you could give a struggling mom a tip, she's already in network marketing for years or maybe for months, and she's thinking, this is not for me. Could you give her one tip that could maybe not convince, because we are not in the convincing business, but that maybe could give her a vision? Okay, I can do this.
Oh, so many. That could be like a 3-day training in and of itself. But first of all, you got to make a decision.
Mhm.
You've got to make a decision that you're in it to win it. And, my 3 golden rules for 25 years have been: get excited, pay attention, and never quit.
Mhm.
And so never quit. I've never quit. I've had to pivot.
Mhm.
Um, I've had to take my team to a different company, and I've had, numerous things happen where companies have gone out of business or companies have gotten shut down, whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
But I've never quit. I've always kept my eye on the prize, and I've never quit. Next thing I would say is success loves speed.
Mhm.
Okay. Inactivity breeds doubt. So the reason why you're struggling is because you're not doing the thing.
Mhm.
Okay. Like I said, do the thing and you shall have the power. So when you do the income producing activities, you got to figure out what handful of IPAs in your company, in your business, grab one of your successful upline leaders and say, what are 5 things that if I did them day in and day out and day in and day out could bring me success in my business? Because a lot of it is just getting better at it. And the only way you're
Mhm.
getting better at it is by doing it.
Yes.
But a lot of times people don't do it and they don't see success. And then they go, oh, I knew it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, so you got to work on your mindset.
Mhm.
A lot of people need a checkup from the neck up.
Mhm.
You gotta,
That's a
you
good
gotta,
one.
yeah, you gotta get your own mind right.
Yeah.
Because thoughts are things, guys. Whatever you think is. If you think you suck, you suck. If you think you're going
Mhm.
to be successful, you're going to be successful. If you think that, oh, these things don't work, guess what? It's not going to work.
Mhm.
And so your thoughts lead to your feelings, which lead to your actions, which lead to your results. So if you put positive in, you're going to get positive out. If you put negative in, you're going to
Yeah.
get negative out. It's not rocket
No,
science.
no.
Okay. But it takes a consistent daily effort and show up.
Mhm.
Like, how are you showing up for yourself and your business and your team or your future team or
Mhm.
your kids or your spouse or the people around you? How are you showing up on a daily
Yeah.
basis? So I say play at a level 10, success loves speed, go to work, stop making excuses.
Yeah.
It can happen.
I don't think that there are any more golden nuggets that you give us today. There is one thing that I love from Ray Higdon that is maybe a little bit of complementing what you say. You get to keep what you speak.
Yeah.
He said that a few years ago in a podcast, I think, and that is also something that is really true because if you speak negatively, then you get negativity in return. So yes, I love
Well,
that.
I love that. I haven't heard Ray say that one, but I'm totally stealing it now.
Okay. So, Michelle, we're going to wrap up this interview. I thank you very much for your time. Do you have any last words of wisdom for the audience, for these moms?
Progress equals happiness. So just make sure that you're progressing every day. Do something positive for your business every single day.
Okay, thank you. Where can people find you? How can people reach out to you? And I know you have something awesome that you can share with them. Can you please share it with them?
Yeah, so you can find me on all the social media outlets. I'm Michelle Barnes Success Coach on Facebook, Michelle Barnes Success Coach on Instagram, Michelle Barnes on Clubhouse, Michelle Barnes on TikTok, Lady Boss on
Oh.
TikTok. I'm just getting that thing going. And then I actually am giving away, I do a really, really extensive goal setting training every single year.
Mhm.
And so I am giving that training to you for free.
Oh, thank you.
It's a training that I could probably charge $2,000 to $5,000 for.
Mhm.
And I'm giving this training to you for free. You can get it at mentoringbymichelle.com/goals.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, yeah, reach out to me, ask me any questions, whatever you guys need. I'm just honored to help.
Okay, thank you. That is very generous. I'm going to put everything in the show notes and the links so they can directly find you. Thank you for your time and keep up the good work. Thank you.
Well, thank you for all you're doing.
Thank,
All the mamas out there need you, girls. So appreciate you.
thank you.